Day 5 of practice for the Pittsburgh Steelers is underway here at St. Vincent College, but Bob Labriola is with me now in a quick transaction to report. Labs, the Steelers just announced they were awarded a free agent wide receiver, Brandon Riley, to make room for him on the 90-man roster. They waived cornerback Alexander Myers with a non-football injury. So what should fans make of this move?
Not a lot, to be quite honest with you. I mean, these are the kinds of moves that often happen over the course of a training camp. You know, you can kind of liken it to shuffling the cards, you know, at the bottom of the deck. I'm sure that the Steelers had some interest in Brandon Riley at some point to some degree. When you're in a situation, as the Steelers were, with, you know, a guy that didn't report to camp, you kind of have a roster spot. I'm not saying that, you know, Brandon Riley has no chance to make this 53-man roster, but it's certainly not a high-profile addition. You know, again, it's you replace someone who wasn't even here with someone that you kind of liked a little bit, and you can always use an extra receiver to take some of the reps. So we'll have to see what happens, but it's not necessitated by any injuries or necessarily poor performance, you know, or anything like that. Again, as I said, typical.
Just a move.
Yeah, typical early training camp roster move.
All right, Ryan Switzer was hurt today at practice. A number of other things happened, so let's take you down to the field where Tunch, Ilkin, and Matt Williamson are standing by live with today's practice report. Hey, guys.
Thanks, Missy. You know, Maddie, today is the day that I was watching the inside backers, and there's a lot of hoopla, you know, about Devin Bush and Mark Barron, and rightfully so, because those two guys are fast and athletic. Give me your take on those guys.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I mean, the middle of the field is so important in today's NFL with these athletic tight ends and the Christian McCaffreys of the world. You need speed, and, you know, Barron was one of the first of his kind to linebacker to safety, and it makes a lot of sense in today's NFL. And there's always buzz around the first-round pick, but let alone trading up to get a guy like Bush. I mean, super exciting.
Yeah, he's a super athlete. But today, I want to say Vince Williams carried the day. Vince Williams made every tackle that he was on the field during the run, during the internal run, when it's 11 on 11 run. And you know, I'm a big Devin Bush fan. He did a great job in 7 shots. He was on the slot covering James Washington, and he made a great play. But then when he went over there, backs on backers, Benny Snell had his way with him. And what I love about Vince Williams is he just doesn't get blocked. You know, and he has such a nose for the ball that he always guesses right. So if the play's going onside, he's not going to get blocked. He always dips under the guard and makes the play. If it's going to the backside, he always chases and makes the play. You know, Devin Bush and Mark Barron, I think, they're going to have to work on getting off blocks because, you know, as fast as they are and as athletic as they are, I mean, their teams are going to run on first down.
Yeah, without question. And you sort of sacrifice that to some degree in today's NFL, but you can see why Vince Williams is such a coach's favorite, too. He brings attitude, he brings leadership, not only the defense, but on special teams as well. And he's kind of a self-made guy. He's very smart with how he played, like you mentioned. You really see it as a blitzer, too. I mean, he times his blitzes well. He knows when to come. He uses his hands extremely well as a pass rusher, not just a blitzer. Brings a lot to the table. You know,
and he also has a great spin move back to the inside. And one of the other things that I love about Vince, he is very, very vocal pre-snap. You know, he's telling everybody where they're going. He's making the calls. And, you know, so he comes off to the sideline. So I go up to Vinny and I go, hey, man, you aren't standing pat, man. And he goes, do you think this is the first time they drafted a #1 pick to take my place? and I go, no, I don't think it is. And he goes, no, it's not. And I'm here to play. And you know, you made a great point. He has that attitude. He is nasty and he is a thumper. And you know, if I was Butsy, I would put him on first down. I mean, you know, if you're going to go nickel and you put both the linebackers in, you go with Devin Bush and Mark Barron. If you go dime, you know, today all dime was Devin Bush. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, I mean, their dime package, they were a little too light last year. Their base package, they were a little too slow and unathletic. And now this mesh of these three is really exciting that their nickel should be really, really strong and probably see more snaps of nickel. It's a lot of versatility. There's a lot of options now.
Right, and you know what? It's funny because Butsy and Mike are the same way, and Jerry Osaski is the same way. They want to get their 11 best guys, 11 best matchups on the field against whatever opponent it is to match up. So that, you know, that's what I love about the way these guys coach up. And so it's going to be interesting to see, you know, like if you were going today, which two would you start?
Bush without question, and like you said, in a rotation, I want to see Vince Williams on early downs, especially if it's a Jacksonville or a run-heavy team. He'd play more snaps.
Yeah.
And Barron, to me, is your coverage guy,
right,
you know, off the line of scrimmage a little bit, where you can sacrifice the size for speed. But I would use all three quite a bit.
You know who else I like? I like Ulysses Gilbert. He's from University of Akron. He is another 4-4 guy. I mean, these guys, these linebackers that they drafted between Bush and Gilbert are both can fly. You know, Robert Spillane's not bad, and Tyler Medikevich, he is probably reminds me of Jerry Osaski.
Yeah. Plays
with his eyes, has it in his head, and he's going to make a play. And he, another guy that guesses right all the time.
Yeah, and Tyler brings immense value on special teams, too. He might be their top special teams guy. You mentioned Vince Williams to start. He's going to be a great influence on these young guys, too.
I know. All right, Missy, that's all we have time for. Back to you.
All right, just a few news and notes about practice today. It looked like it was vets days for David DeCastro and Anthony Chickolo. That meant some extra reps for BJ Finney and Ola Adeni, who we've talked so much about on this program. Two injuries that I'm sure Coach Tomlin will either speak about or be asked about during his press conference following practice today. Wide receiver Ryan Switzer limped off of the practice field, was being looked at by trainers, and also team doctor James Bradley, and also Derwin Gray, the rookie offensive lineman, left early, not sure about that one. TJ Watt continues to be on the physically unable to perform list, but doing some running and jogging by himself on fields. I'm sure we'll all be excited when number 90 is back out there with his teammates. And also our first camp fight, this one going between Cam Hayward and Alejandro Villanueva. We are going to take a quick break. When we return, we will hear from the player who says he only has 2% body fat, the lowest on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't go anywhere.